In this part with Ishan, we will learn about line drawing, his methods for perfecting the line drawing before moving into coloring.
So this is, I guess I'm done with the whole basics layout of the whole thing. Uh, I'll just go on and start lining it out now.
Okay, so for that you actually did the layer opacity to 50% and then made a
Yeah,
new
this
layer.
yeah. This is actually my style. I do it. I to make it very perfectly cut. I do this.
So right now also you are using 6B pencil only.
Yeah. I use 6B pencil for everything. There is this technical pencil which gives you a very fine edge. You cannot see it pixelated much, but it's very fine. But I
Okay.
like I like all my illustration to be a little bit textured, and it gives it a bit of a natural vibe.
So why did you actually left the portion where you have to actually draw your eye, or you assume that it will cover up behind the eye?
No, the whole lining of the thing goes together in hand. Now the eye is something that I'll have to keep redoing. I'll have to keep retouching because maybe at one point I don't like the eye to be very big. I don't like to be very small. So what I do is basically sometimes I just draw a line like that.
Also, why did you choose this color tone, specifically going with skin and violet or purple?
Actually, this comes down to what kind of style do you like. Um, I recently have, this is something I've been struggling a lot with, finding my own style. You can see that people draw a lot differently. For suppose one of my inspirations is Janice Song. She uses a lot of orange shades, and she sticks to a lot of tones that are very earthy to give her illustrations a look. So I'd say when you look into the whole digital illustration part, uh, when you look at different artists, I feel you can see that they have different forms. There are certain colors that they keep using. So there are different these things, how people use colors, how what kind of colors they are using, what brushes they are using, and how they draw figures. You can even notice that some people draw realistic figures, like drawing Billie Eilish. She's famous in the drawing world right now, I guess. So drawing Billie Eilish, Ariana Grande, or anyone. So people choose to draw them realistically, but there are people who used to draw it in their own style. But even though when they are drawing it, you can feel that yeah, this is Ariana Grande, but it isn't actually Ariana Grande. It's some sort of a character. It's some sort of an abstract figure, but it resembles a lot of Ariana Grande's features. So it makes it look like her portrait. So when it comes to me using this color palette, I guess I've been drawn to natural colors, which is the background color, and it's very nice. And from my childhood, I've been liking purple a lot. So maybe that's it. I have been using a lot of orange colors right now, like in my recent posts, but it's not very fixed. I'm still finding my style of drawing something.
Can you explain how actually you did that small finish touch? It was pretty good.
Which finishing touch?
Yeah, the eye one, like the no, below eye.
The bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just drew a line. This is something that I've been noticing a lot in the figures. You have wherever you're looking at the extreme edge, extreme left and right sides are the one which you can see you have a bigger curve down there. So what I do is basically I just do this. Um, you have an eye like this. So what you do is you just take it a bit down. You draw a small area which
Yeah.
you can see, which is a tear bag or something,
Mhm.
and you just go from it and then you go out. And then same for the other side. For the other side is something when you're looking from the side, no, you don't actually see the area that is covering it up. So what happens is the eye comes out a bit, and then you have this area,
Mm.
and then you go from outside from a bigger curve to inner curve because you have that small thing over here as well. And then the nose area comes when I'm covering a side angle of it. So I draw a nose area that is over here that you can see here.
So how have you been in this lockdown? How's
So I've
Andaman?
scored a lot. Underground is pretty good. It's I would say that this place is more like a um, just visit place. Don't stay here for months, please. Because after a point, it kind of gets depressing because days start early and it gets you can see nights are very early as well. So like if it's 5 o'clock or 5:30, you can see it getting dark and the sunset happening very quickly. So it's kind of depressing because I lived in a city before. I lived in Pune, but now it's more like, oh, when is the day? When is the night? And I have very less time, very less daytime. So even though our generation is more like what
Night
we can
owls.
say, yeah, night owl. It doesn't affect me that much, but I still like to see my fair share of daylight. So it gets kind of depressing.
So did you actually sketch while college was going on? Like while the lectures are going on and you just switched it off and started sketching on your iPad?
Um, to be honest, sketching was something that I was surviving on, literally. Um, I would turn on my class and I'll be like just sketching. This medium is actually very easy to do. So you can just get on to sketching something and then you can just stop it. So I've been constantly sketching throughout my lockdown, and that is why I thought I'll reactivate my art account, and I have which I have done. Um, so yeah, I've been sketching a lot.
So how many sketches have you completed in this complete lockdown?
Oh my god, I've lost count
Rough,
now.
rough guess, I guess.
I guess I have something around 34, 35 sketches. Um, yeah, 34, 35 sketches.
In a pan of how many months?
Um, Actually, I got my iPad recently. That is in the month of January. And actually, I wasn't that new to this software, so it's cool with me using this right now and giving you all a tutorial. I've been using Autodesk Sketchbook before, so I have a good hang of how to use this. So on my iPad, I have made at least 30 or 35 sketches since January, and many of them are like ideas. I feel like not copying a lot. I have this concept that um, don't copy what other artists are doing. There is this thing that people do that is draw this in your style. Yeah, so I don't like to do a lot of do this in your style. So this is something that other artists make something and they are like draw this in your style, which is what I've been telling ki, I struggle a lot finding my own style. So yeah, finished sketches are actually 34 to 35. I have many sketches in my notebook, which are like ideas, just ideas. They are. I've been trying to get to draw animals as well, from birds to rabbits to cats, lions, and everything. And I feel like including them in my figures, character figure sketches a lot. Like suppose this is an illustration and I want to include an animal, so I would maybe think of adding wings behind, something like a crow or something, and give it a very goth vibe at the same time being an angelic vibe. So that is something that I've been trying. But those are just ideas at the moment. But if you count finished sketches, they are just 34 to 35. Rest are all very rough sketches.
Still, it's 34 to 35 is a great count, I would say.
I've been trying my best.
So are you doing like you have to sit every day? You have mental preparing yourself to sit every day and do something at least every day to have this continuation?
Um, Drawing illustrations is actually very cool. Once I sit, it's more like I am in that headspace and I keep doing it, and it's not at all boring. But are days when it's very boring, and I don't have inspiration as to what I want to draw. So I guess when you asked me, that was the like 3 to 4 days ago. You asked me to do this,
Hmm.
and that day was my last illustration that I made. This is the recent one. Like 4 days, I have not sketched anything because I wasn't feeling like doing anything, and plus I was traveling as well. So I guess it has a lot to affect like what you're doing when you're doing, and you need to be in that mindset to draw. But for me, it's more like once you're sitting and doing something, um, I'll complete it. I'll complete it completely, and then I'll get up. No, no. For me, it's very agitating. If I don't complete a sketch, I have to like complete a sketch. So that is the reason that I am like, if I'm sitting for a sketch, I have to finish it. Now,
For
this is
me,
something that this is something I do at the end. Like my illustrations done, I don't like the placement of the nose. So I kind of pick it up and I'll give it some angle or I'll move it a bit up and down to see what suits. And this looks good. This looks good. Yeah.
okay, but for the
So
angle of nose, you actually have to connect it with the left eye which you have. So how do you actually do that then? If you're moving it in the latter part.
I just actually changed the line that is up there. Like this line, this is what is giving it the angle, right? So
Hmm.
I now I like oh, wait. So it's very different. It varies for me. Like in ways that I want my nose to feel it should be like in a direction. So I would generally prioritize me drawing a nose and then me checking whether the angles on the left eye match or not. And if it doesn't, then I just draw lines over it.
Okay, but when you're actually doing this stuff line, how are you actually able to differentiate between the for third layer and the second layer which is below, which is the rough sketch? I guess I'm getting confused which line is what.
Happens. Um, I guess it's now a thing that I've been doing it a lot. So I guess I've been practice with it a lot. So I know that I guess it's majorly color difference because when you
Hmm.
reduce the opacity, the color changes, and the recent color that I'm drawing right now is different. So it gives me a lot of angle. It gives me a lot of direction as to which is the correct angle. Sorry, not the angle, or which is the correct layer and where I'm drawing and what I'm drawing. So this is basically just me checking what I like, how I like, or do I feel that something's missing in it, and do I want to add something in it? This is that phase now.
So here you're going to also add the shadows and the stiff part, like giving it a finishing touch.
Yeah, yeah. Now this is just finishing touch, and then I'll get on to making the whole thing a bit colored, maybe.
Hope you enjoyed this part of tutorial. Stay tuned for the next one. We are coming soon.